Welcome to another edition of the East Idaho Prepcast on IdahoSports.com, breaking down top stories from Districts 5 and 6 of East Idaho High School athletics. It is Monday night, 7:31. My name is Joel Richardson. I'm joined by my co-host, Sean Kane. It's been a summer to remember, Sean. Best part of your summer, go.
Wow, best part of the summer, probably just some lake days at Bear Lake. And some little trips, but nothing. There was no trips to Finland. I kept it relatively easy because moving forward in the fall will be there'll be some big trips coming up. But we're not going to get into them now, Joel. We're going to leave it there a little.
All right,
there for everyone.
Yeah.
But went to concert 311, the band 311, Saturday night. That was pretty fun here in Pocatello at the amphitheater.
Did they play the hits, Sean?
Oh, yeah, they played
okay,
the hit.
Good.
It was good. I mean, I saw them like in 1999. Me and my friends decided in Jackson Hole, and maybe some other times. But yeah, it's kind of crazy now that the music I liked is like on classic rock stations.
Right. Oh, man.
But, I was back at school today, getting some early stuff done. And, man, the school's already, busy with volleyball, football, different, all the different sports are already getting in there and getting stuff done. So, I mean, it's time.
It sure is. Hey, folks, don't forget to like, share, and follow too, so you know each and every week when this show drops. This is the East Idaho Prepcast on IdahoSports.com. This show is brought to you by, as always, Ideal, a state-sponsored tax advantage savings plan that helps families pay for the cost of college. With the rising cost of college, developing a savings plan is the first and most important step in helping families finance a college education. An Ideal 529 account can be used towards higher education, a trade school, apprenticeship, or even student loan repayments. For more information, go to idsavings.org. Sean, you mentioned it. We are already rolling with fall sports. We've been practicing. We've been at fall camps. Summer camps ended. We had a week, maybe two of vacation for these kids, and then we're right back at it with fall camp. Sean, a little intro to the show. If this is your first time watching the show, folks, in the past, maybe we'll try to hit every score, every story, because there's so much going on here in East Idaho. But this season, we're going to try to do things a little different. We're going to try to hit 1, 2 stories, top stories, and really hone in on those. Keep the show 30 minutes. Give you just enough time to put it in the AirPods, trim your grass, do the edging, and get back inside for some college football or NFL. Right. And I will try my best to keep it at 30. Sean will try to keep me in line and we'll knock this out. But if you got big stories, if you want your team to be shouted out, hit us up in the comments section. Also hit me up at Iwan Educador on X, at SKN182 on X as well. That's Sean. I'm Joel. Sean, this is like your fifth season with Idaho Sports.
Yeah, this is like our fifth season of this podcast, second with Joel.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like a reboot, right? It's like the reboot of the reboot, because I think it was originally Brandon and Lance Taylor,
right?
They brought in a little better looking, and not too far much, but they brought in a little better guy. No, just joking. They brought me in, and then we kicked Brandon out, brought you in. So it's like a reboot. There's some shows that keep rebooting and spin-offs. It's not a spin-off. Right. It's just a reboot. We casted a little some better characters in our nice little show here, and it's great to be back for this season. And like I was talking a little bit earlier pregame, that there's football games Friday. There's volleyball coming up. Peg Peterson, right? That's going to be coming up. So it's just, I guess I just didn't have that realization that the sports start really before school even starts, right?
Yeah.
Classes don't even start till next week in Pocatello, and Boise is back in, but I mean, kids have been working and school hasn't even started. So you just kind of have to give some respect to those athletes willing to take some of their summer out to get into the sport. I didn't really think about that until today when I was at school, but in coaches and volunteer coaches and all the staffs, their summer ended a little while ago, where some of us are still milking it just a little bit.
Yeah, including myself. You know who's not milking it is the head coach of Madison Girls Volleyball. We're going to bring him in now and talk a little volleyball, Sean. The title of the show is Volleyball, and let's bring him in right now. It's Coach Keanu Pukahi to talk all things volleyball, especially Madison Girls Volleyball. Coach Keanu Pukahi, how's it going, man? Good to see you.
Hey, I really appreciate you letting me be a part of this podcast today, and I'm super stoked to be here.
Yeah, we're super stoked to have you, Coach. Tell us a little about yourself. I know this is, I think, your second year as the head coach of Madison Girls Volleyball. But for those who don't know, where'd you come from, and how'd you get here to East Idaho?
Hey, so I've been playing volleyball half my life, most of my life. I played volleyball. I'm originally from California. I'm the oldest of 5 kids, 2 brothers, 2 sisters. 2 of my brothers also played volleyball, and my sisters played volleyball recreationally, and so it's kind of in our blood. As soon as I finished high school, I went right into coaching. I got blessed with a guy that was a former coach of mine, and he said, "Just come coach with me. You can do some classes on the side as you're doing college, and see if you like it." And he was right. I love it, and went on a mission for a little bit, came back, played some ball somewhere before I decided to come to BYU, Idaho. And then I see the high school, and I kind of saw it from afar. I didn't think anything of it, just was wanting to play. But to be honest, I'm trying to remember how I got into Madison volleyball. I think I went to a game, and then I was kind of hooked with the way these girls play, and I can see a difference. And so now I'm here. I've been coaching in the Madison program for about 4 years, and been a head coach for 2. And so, that's kind of where I'm at this point.
And Coach, you're starting your second year, right, as the Madison. Did I get that right? Second year as Madison head coach?
This will be my second year as the head coach.
Right on. And but previously, you were the assistant coach for how many years? 1, 2, 5?
I was an assistant for 1 before that. Before I became the head coach, I was assistant for varsity. I did a year of assisting varsity at Thunder Ridge. And then the year before that, I was the JV assistant coach for Madison. And so I've been pretty much around Madison for most of my time here in Idaho. And
Coach, you quickly climbed the ladder of respect here in East Idaho as you were named the 2024 Coach of the Year. I mean, what an accomplishment! What an award to be recognized not only by maybe players or your own parents, but by coaches throughout the state. That's amazing accomplishment. And then your team goes 8-0 in conference, 36-2 overall, and then you win state in 3-1, 3-2 versus Skyview. A lot of accolades last year. How did it all feel? If you can wrap that all up in maybe a few words.
That's a great question. I think it's funny because you don't think about it at the time. Like, I had to take a step back right after season was done, and had to think about how blessed I was able to be. Like, I feel very grateful and lucky to be a part of this program. I've seen where we've been. I've seen where we fell short a couple years, and so. But I think I've been blessed to come into a program right now, back to a program where we have seen success. I do think this last year was a dream come true in my eyes, especially as the first year being a head coach. But then right after I felt the nostalgia of being the champion, I went right back to day one. I think it took a couple months for me to understand, like, hey, it's time to get back into the gym. And so that's kind of where I'm at now, is I'm just ready to go.
Yeah, and that's the question, right? How long do you enjoy it? How long until you start thinking, man, we got to start doing this again, right? So 3P from Madison. I thought you might come on with like a bunch of rings or something, but did you guys get rings? Did you guys get rings?
They get rings this past year. They got rings this past
awesome.
year. I think years before, we didn't even think about that. I think with the girls having it be a 3P, they were like, I think we deserved at least a little bit of some jewelry. And so, but I didn't get any. I think it was just more of a motivation for me to be like next year, and we'll see how this year goes.
Yeah, it's that's the hardest part as being a coach too, is it's always the next year. and that process starts a lot sooner than you ever expect. And
oh yes,
you know, how do you keep the edge? I'm sure you guys have been in the gym working. You know, so my question is, how do you kind of keep that edge, keep that act sharp? And then I had one other question, comment. You know, it's kind of nice not seeing Skyview win everything for so long. I get to say it. You don't have to say it, but it's nice seeing a different name on some plaques and different things. But yeah, but Skyview, you know, credit that program's been phenomenal. They put D1 athletes and they've done a great job. But I guess about how to sharpen that axe, I look back at your schedule, and I would assume you're going to go back down to Utah and maybe play again this year. Do you want to go back and maybe beat some of those teams that you lost to? Is that kind of a good motivation? Because I mean, Idaho, you didn't lose anyone in Idaho. So I guess, you know, how do you kind of think about, I want to, you know, go back to Utah, maybe beat some of those teams like Bountiful or what was the other one? Brigham. It's something that starts with a B. Beat them, right?
Yeah, yeah. It was a weird. I will say that was a weird weekend. Now that I look back, because there were top teams of Utah that were at that tournament. We were fortunate enough to beat those good teams, and so a lot of my coaches, especially that after that weekend, they said we beat teams that we shouldn't have beat, and we lost to teams that we shouldn't have lost to, and so that's definitely just a motivating thing for me to be. And I mean, those teams that we lost against, they were great teams. They had players that are part of the national level, play under that national team, and they have coaches that have been coaching for years, and a staple name for Utah volleyball. And so nothing against them, but I will say, like, it fuels my fire to be like, hey, we lost those games we shouldn't have lost to. I just want to be better. And so we will have an opportunity to play again this year in that Utah tournament. I think there was another one, but it came up really fast, and so we weren't ready to kind of set up for that tournament. So.
Yeah, Utah starts earlier, right?
Yeah.
I think they've already played a week of football at this point.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's hard. I mean, it's hard. I mean, time is against you, and so to speak of that one if a program's ahead. But yeah, that's very cool. It's also nice to have some volleyball. Get a little more of a spotlight, and Madison's done that. They've shined the spotlight very brightly up there in Rexburg for volleyball, which has been kind of predominantly, well, at least at that level, maybe in the Boise area. But overall, East Idaho does very well in volleyball. Like Idaho Falls and Rexburg must have just really good volleyball, right? Because between Idaho Falls, Bonneville for years, teams have been pretty dominant, and then for a while Century won quite a few in a row too with Pauline Thanos, who's now the AD at ISU. But so I'm just saying East Idaho as a whole and even the smaller divisions have done very well. So what's the volleyball community like in your neck of the woods in East Idaho? Is that a big contributing factor to the success of Madison?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've been very lucky to know that, like, when I go around, and I play in lots of volleyball tournaments locally, both here, I think all the way down to Pocatello as well. So I get to know a lot of the coaches. I get to know a lot of the people that do play volleyball. I do know that volleyball community. And I think it's good, though, because we do check up on each other. Sometimes we like to talk trash to each other, and I think that helps out with us being a little bit more motivated to be better. One thing I do notice about Southeastern Idaho, the phrase that comes to mind is not the quantity of ball, it's the quality. And I definitely noticed that with how well these teams out here have played with not as many players or not as many teams out here compared to, of course, like Boise area. So, I mean, I think that quality, and it comes from the coaches. That means we have quality coaches out here. And I got to attest to that.
That's been a prime thing of our show is East Idaho's got the best coaches in the state, and hands down. Don't at me, Northern Idaho.
100%. Coach, so you guys three-peated, amazing accomplishment. You're going for the fourth. You got the target on your back, but these girls coming into this new season, you guys have been practicing. What do you like most about this team so far?
I like the fact of how evened out we are. I looked at an article recently, and it showed like for players to watch out for. And in terms of Madison, it wasn't just one specific player. It looked like pretty much my whole team. There was something to look for in each person, and I think that's been the joy that I get to see in coaching this year. Is spreading the ball and how hard it will be to stop us, essentially, with how well each girl does in their specific position or their specific role on the team.
And that's kind of been the mantra of Madison volleyball, right? It's you have obviously some standout players, but it hasn't been. There's been a lot of teams that have, you know, that one setter, or that one player who's going D1. But Madison always has a bunch of players, a bunch of girls, and they all work really well. And I think that's been a huge key to success. Is you can't just say, if we can take so and so out of the game, we can take them over, because everyone's contributed. And I saw that with the Madison basketball team, which is a lot of similar cast of characters as I did girls state basketball, and they beat Coeur d'Alene this year in the consolation championship. And Mia Walsh had a last second shot I got a call for, so that was pretty cool. She's been a phenomenal athlete to watch for the past couple years at basketball and volleyball. So that's really awesome.
And Coach, who should we look to make big impacts? We got Aspen Boyce, Mia Walsh, as Sean mentioned. Is it Johnny or Joni Folsom?
It's Johnny Folsom.
It is Johnny. Okay, Johnny Folsom, Tori Parker. Those four, they're going to make major impacts. Any others that we should keep our eyes on as the season progresses?
Yeah, I mean, of course, those four, they play a huge role. Three of those girls, I'm hoping for a fourth one, has already gotten offers to go play beyond this level of high school. And
right on.
Like, I think two of them are going to ISU, one's going to Weber, and then I have one of those I do want to get her out there. One thing for me, and it's funny because the culture out here is different than what I'm used to in California, but as a coach, I feel like I'm just a stepping stone. And so like in their volleyball or sports career. And so, but yeah, I think another person to watch out for, and actually she is one of my captains this year, is Emma Pennell, one of our outsides. She's been one of those players that have been playing on varsity as a freshman, and so she's been a part of those 3 state championships in any capacity. And so she's one. I mean, you may say like, hey, she's not the one that's like you see a big swing or anything like that. But if you watch the game, and those that know the game, they understand like there's a steady Eddie type of player, and she's one of those that I can rely on this year. I think with her being on the court and being a lot more vocal this year will help those other girls that are standouts be like, hey, now I have power to pound a ball or block a ball or be one of those highlights. But I think because of that Madison culture, we have those opportunities to have those highlight plays. But I think one of those would be Emma. And then, of course, we have a new setter this year. So, I mean, she was a backup last year, but I think she came in. We had a couple scrimmages, and we played in a team camp, and we did really well. And I think it was our setter. So, yeah, those two amongst pretty much all my girls. I think they're very special in their specific way. It's just I don't think I have the time to tell you each specific person. Otherwise, I would.
Yeah. We're trying to keep us at 30 minutes, Coach. But
you could just say some coaches just say, "Oh, everyone's good,"
everyone's
so
special.
You pulled some names out. That's big league.
What's the setter's name, Coach?
Her name is Camry Call.
Camry Call. Okay.
Basketball player too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She came off the bench last year and was a pretty big player. So I would imagine she'll be a starter in the basketball role as well. So yeah, it's pretty good. And I guess the other question I had is, so a lot of times it doesn't feel like Madison has the height as other teams, right? And height can be pretty important in volleyball. I'm no expert, but how do you guys? I guess I don't. How do you guys perform so well maybe against teams that have the height? I don't know. I think that's an interesting. I know not necessarily just because you're tall, it's going to be a good volleyball player, but it makes a huge difference. But Madison's always, I mean, you've had some tall people, but it's not like you're chopping down trees out there.
No, I mean we do have a couple. I think Mia Walsh is one of our tall ones. But it's funny, like I said, I played football in high school, and one of the things that my coach taught me is defense wins championships, and I definitely apply that to volleyball. Like defense wins championships in this case, and we can have people pound balls, but sometimes we need people to dig those balls. And how infuriating it is for players that pound the ball and put everything into it and then get it dug. And so I think that's what Madison's been really good at. Those. I was actually just recently watching film of our championship run, and I see random plays like you see a girl shank a ball. You know, a lot of times you see a girl that just give up. But a couple of times each player from our Madison team has done those one-hand digs out of nowhere and gets the ball up, and it brings morale back to the team. And so defense is one of those big things that I love to see, especially if we're not as tall. And I know our setter isn't that tall this year, and so I am expecting to work a little bit more on defense, so that way we can still go back to that championship.
I don't think anyone got like really disappointed. They're like, "Oh, great, Madison's still gonna be good."
Yeah.
Oh, gee. Okay. All
right. Coach, so moving away from Madison, I did wear my red tonight for Madison to give red some love. We do need to share this photo though of that championship team. Here it is. Oh, yes. I love how they did. 2024 was on the floor. We got to pick that up a little bit, girls. Come on, ladies, you got this.
Yeah.
But it was such a great group of girls. We are missing you though in there, Coach, and maybe that's a testament to just your humility. And hey, this is the girls' championship. I'm gonna step aside.
Oh yeah, I hate the spotlight, to be honest. I get nervous in public crowds, and so honestly, when I coach, I try to shy away from it. I don't like to be in the crowd or in any pictures or anything like that. And honestly, it's all the girls. They do it, and so they deserve all the recognition. I'm just very lucky to be a part of to say like, hey, you're just going to line up here. We're going to this many points. I think I got the lucky part for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So we've talked Madison. We're wearing our red. At least you and I are wearing a red. Sean, he's got. I don't know what's going on there, Sean, with that shirt.
It's tie dye. I'm wearing a hat because of the Gem State show last week. Everyone wore hats, and I like combed my hair for the first time in 3 months. And then I gave them all a hard time. So now I'm wearing a hat. So hopefully those other guys, Brandon, Bainey, Paul, Kingsbury, not to mention any names, are watching. But
right. And I got Team Chrome Dome over here. So you guys are all winning. So let's get away from Madison, Coach. We're going to put a little pressure on you, which we know you love. You love being in the spotlight.
Great.
So give us your opinion on what East Idaho teams. Let's first do your conference. We should keep an eye on. We got Rigby, Thunder Ridge, Highland, and Canyon Ridge is also in the conference, right?
Yes.
Okay. But let's focus on East Idaho. You can throw in Canyon Ridge if you want, just because they're in your conference. But what teams are you? I mean, you're a respectful person and you respect all your opponents, but what team are you thinking we got to watch out for these guys?
Well, I will say, as it's funny because the culture out here, like after high school season, we do club, and I coached for a club out here, and it gave me the opportunity to coach a lot of these girls. And so I hopefully I have a good enough relationship with these girls to understand like they are good. And so one of those, specifically one of the teams in our conference is Rigby. I think Rigby has the pieces, and they've had the pieces for years. And so that's definitely a team I always have to prep for.
Yeah.
Whether or not the score, the outcome is different than before, but I always have to prep for them. Thunder Ridge is always good because of their coach. Keisha is one that I coached under for a year, and I learned so much within that year, and I could see why. I could see why her teams are really good. She's made the state as many times, if not like maybe a couple times where she didn't make state as this school has been in session. So it's just the teams. I know Highland has a new coach this year, but for me right now, it'll be Rigby and Thunder. I can't breeze past them. I have to definitely prep for them.
So you're saying Rigby and Madison are going to have a big battle? Wow.
Yeah.
I'm planning for it.
Always
sports.
Yeah. It's always fun. I think some of the most fun kind of games this past year were Rigby, Madison, and whatever sport you want to cut it were pretty interesting. So that's been really fun. Yeah, Thunder Ridge is always tough. Yeah, Canyon Ridge wasn't too far removed from being really good, and then they had some, I don't know what happened, some coaching changes. There was a couple, irregularities, and they were, when they were down, they were on pace to be one of the best teams. So, that'll be good. And then, is there any other smaller divisions teams that you kind of have an eye out on this season in East Idaho?
Honestly, I know those that made it to state. IF, they still have those pieces. They have a girl that just committed to somewhere, and she's only a junior. So they definitely have the talent out there. A team that I've come to know with their girls is Butte County. Out there, they are a two-way, but man, those girls can be really good, and it showed this past year. I think they won state. So trying to think of anything else. I mean, Bonneville is always going to be good because they also have a coach that sets really good foundations in Chantel. And so, but honestly, for me, it's just like like we said before, I think the quality of coaching is so good that who knows, we might have a team that might upset us. And so I have to prep my girls like it will be a state championship, because you never know. And I think that's the beauty of volleyball, is you could be really good on paper, but if your mind isn't there, you will lose. And so I just have to make sure my girls are ready for whatever. But I do know those girls, those teams are going to be good. I think we play IF for our first match as a non-conference, and definitely not going to take it easy on them.
10 days away, Coach.
I know.
Yeah. Next Wednesday, right?
Yeah, but I think it's Thursday. But I'm
Thursday.
So I just want to be in the gym. I love being in the gym all the time. And so, like, if it's in the gym as practice or a game, nothing's better than that for me.
Well, and here in East Idaho, we have, and you mentioned some of those teams. We have so much good volleyball. Other teams that I'm looking out for, Sean, obviously Pokey, they were having an amazing season and they fell short. Surprisingly, I would say that was an upset personally, in that I think they lost in the semis or quarters or something.
Falls.
Tidal Falls. And then Bear Lake, Mlad, Coach, you mentioned Butte County. And then, Coach, I don't know have you heard of Grace Lutheran Volleyball?
Yes, I have I did. There was a stint where I coached boys, and one of the boys was one of the managers for that team. And so he helped out with that team. I think there was I don't even know how many girls, but it was definitely not that many.
Seven girls.
And Sean and I talk about Grace Lutheran way too much, just because their school is small and their volleyball team puts out usually about 7, right? And volleyball is 6. So they have one sub, and they take those 7, maybe 8 girls to state every time, and they either win or they go really far. So it's a fun story that Sean and I like to talk about. Oh
yeah, it's a good, and to see one of the guys that coach be a manager and help out that program, it's awesome to see. And the accolade show quality.
Go ahead, Sean.
Oh no, I thought it like pause. The one other question I had for you was, how did you like where state was in Idaho Falls this year at is it Mountain View? Mountain View. Because I heard some people like the venue, but the 2 matches by each other.
It had its pros and cons. It had its pros and cons for sure. I think we were very lucky because we played against Skyview, and I think this was the last year, years before Skyview was down, and so they petitioned to come up. So this was their first year we had to play against them again, and luckily it was here. So we had our home turf, but I think some of the cons is that we had smaller serving space. It felt like we were pretty cramped at moments because we were in that little arena. But I mean, I myself, I love it. I love it because you feel every emotion, and you could either ride it or you try to cut it off. But I mean, I think we were really lucky with it last year being in Idaho Falls. We didn't have to travel too far. We got to sleep in our own beds, which was nice.
Yeah, and that's the argument, right? Overall, is not everything, and volleyball does rotate more than other sports, but not always having to go to not always having to go to Boise or north, like it's good. I think for it to rotate, and kids don't want to sleep in their beds. They want to travel. But as a coach, 100%, it's 100 times better when you can sleep in your own bed and come the next day. And then maybe next year you get that experience. But I just wanted to get an inside track on that because I didn't get an overwhelming, like we loved it there. People love that it got to be there in Idaho Falls, but maybe they'll clean up some of the stuff. I just and maybe the serving space is what people were talking about when having them. It was just a little too cramped for maybe 2 matches or something. But I'm sure the viewing would have been great to be there and stuff for the fans. But yeah, that was some good insights. Thanks.
Yeah, we definitely got the crowd for us there. You can see that sea of red if you look back at film. And so we were very lucky.
Right on. Yeah, I like it when they rotate. I wish they rotate more, but I know there's space issues and whatnot. But yeah, right on for volleyball to take advantage of the ability to rotate. Coach, we've taken too much of your time. We'll get you out of here. But first, I teased this during our pre-show. I got to know what this picture is all about, Coach. Ready for this one?
Oh, here we go.
All right. I did some digging, folks, and I want to know, okay, who is this Keanu Pukahi? First of all, awesome name. I saw that he was maybe from Southern California or San Diego. I'm also from there, so kindred spirits, likes the beach, surfing and stuff. But I did find this photo, and it intrigued me, so I needed the background. Ready for this, Coach? Coach Pukahi. Tell me about this picture, man, because it says Rick's College Volleyball, and Sean teased that we need sports back at BYU Idaho, which used to be Rick's College. So you were there during the BYU Idaho days. So what's this Rick's College Volleyball about?
So a buddy of mine, which is the one right next to me, the shorter one, and he had some other buddies before. They wanted to do club program for BYU Idaho. Now BYU Idaho didn't do sports. They don't want to be affiliated with sports, and so we decided to go out, be called Rick's. And I think it's been going for a while, but it's funny because we'll make merchandise with it, and
that's
so
funny.
I'll see old heads, and they'll be like, "I love that. Where'd you get that?" And I was like, "Funny you should ask."
Were they the Vikings? Were they the Vikings? Was it
Vikings?
Yeah.
But so we've been a club program. We still have club programs. We just are called Rick's. I still kind of help out with that. Like if I need to coach and help out some of the boys, new generation of talent. And so, but yeah, it's funny. So the short guy, he's a cousin of ours. He's the one that kind of brought me and my brothers, because we all played volleyball somewhere and then decided to come to Idaho. And so those 2 tall ones are my little brothers.
Okay.
Yeah, they're my little brothers.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it was cool because that the shorter guy, he was our setter. And he brought us all in, and I think if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to be so close with my siblings, especially here in Idaho. So that's kind of where the picture is. I was a little bit nervous to see what other pictures you would have showed, but I love that photo.
Yeah, no, it was just a quick Facebook. I just I think it was on Facebook, and we're not friends yet, Coach, but soon we will be, man.
That's a warning to the other coaches in East Idaho.
That's right.
Make sure you look at your Facebooks.
Well, and Coach, we had Coach Brennan Mossholder from Hillcrest Football on, and I found some good pictures there. He has a good Instagram account, and so I was able to pull some gems from there, man. But speaking of your brothers, and was it your friend or cousin who started that club team?
So it wasn't him. He started his own team amongst that club. But I have some buddies of mine, Darren. He's still local out here. He's originally from New Mexico, but he lives out here now.
Okay.
I still play volleyball with him. He was the one that kind of started. It was really just friends wanting to play more volleyball together, and now it's become this club. And
right
so
on.
Because of friends and because of the community, now we have this club that I hope is a little bit more respected nowadays.
Yeah, and the club name is Rick's College Volleyball?
Yeah.
Okay, right on.
We also have an Instagram if you would like to know, but yeah, it's Rick's College Volleyball.
I've got a plug, right? That want probably those sweatshirts. I bet. Yeah, I bet they pay good money, man. That'd be a good team fundraiser.
Yeah, a lot of. I mean, it depends on if the school will allow me.
Let's not get in trouble. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, not here, but if you at rickscollegevolleyball.com, but like and subscribe.
Yeah. Hey, we're all about shameless plugs in the show, Coach. But speaking of which, before we get you out of here, any shout outs you want to give? I know we talked about Rick's College Volleyball, the club team with an awesome name. But any other shout outs you want to give to coaches, family, players?
I think specifically those, like coaches, those that have helped me become the coach I am today, former coaches of Madison that have set a program or set the culture of the program. I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful for my family. I have family out here. I had one of my little brother, the littlest one. He was my assistant coach last year, and I was grateful for him to be a part of the program.
Cool.
And then friends and family. I also think the community. I think being from California, community is different. And being from a city to now a small town type of feel, I love it. But everybody knows you, so I got to have a good reputation.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but I'm grateful for it. Those are pretty much my shout outs. I love my family. I love volleyball. I mean, if you're not seeing me play or you're not seeing me coach, I'm playing, watching, trying to be a part of it more often than not, trying to create a culture of volleyball here.
Right on, Coach. Coach, thanks so much for being on here. We know you don't love being in the center of attention, but you've done a great job tonight, man. Seriously. And thanks for kind of introing the volleyball season for us. We'll be talking about volleyball throughout the throughout this fall season, but this was a great treat. Thanks for talking Madison volleyball and some other volleyball as well. And Coach, we'll be following you guys. Good luck in your game next week against Idaho Falls and the rest of the season. And you may be hearing from us a few more times before the season's over.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I think we've now become family. So I'll see y'all soon.
Yeah, and if you don't watch the show, Joe's going to post pictures on it. So.
That's right.
Well, now I have to make sure I have the right photos.
Totally. All right, Coach, we'll get you out of here. Thanks so much for being on, man.
I appreciate it, guys.
Thanks.
Cool. All right, Sean. Well, we say it every show. We have the best coaches here in East Idaho. Not definitely including you, Sean. Definitely including you.
Yeah, I'm old. I'm the old news.
Championships. One of these days, you got to come on the show with your rings, man.
I don't have enough fingers, but no, I did. You know what I was gonna ask him. Does he ever just go out and just kind of like spike the balls semi-aggressively at the girls? You know, I feel like Coach can get up and still get after
right.
it.
Totally. I mean, the guy's playing club with Rick's College Volleyball, man. You heard him. If he's not playing, he's watching film. So I'll bet he can throw it down.
Also, I feel like he's very good at dodgeball. For some reason, I get a feeling like he coaches.
He seems nimble.
Who we want on the volleyball on our dodgeball team. But yeah, what a great insight to Madison volleyball. Right, we talked about them a lot last year.
Yeah,
they were pretty much unbeatable, especially in Idaho. They went to the top of the mountain. They had to beat the best. They did it. But just some good insight of the coaching and what goes on at Madison, and what a good lead into our fall sports.
Yeah,
and I've just really impressed. It's been fun getting to have some coaches. We had football the other week ago, and our teaser show, we'll call it.
Yeah, and, I like it. And the season 4 beginning season 5, kind of the bridge, Yeah.
Sometimes you need that little transition. It's a mini series, but there was a writer's strike, so we didn't have to come back until later. But it's good, and and I just, some of the insights are really good, and I did really want to know about how people like that arena, because a big and maybe I think it's bigger than it is, but it's a big thing, I think, in East Idaho to say, hey, look, East Idaho can host these things. And get that here, and I think it's just good for it to be all around the state too. But I mean, again, those kind of topics will come up forever in Idaho, and gives us something to worry about. And then my co-host is here. This is Maeve.
Oh, there he is.
she
sorry,
my little puppy wanted to be part of the show, but it's good. It's good. I can't believe there's football Friday. So
I know. Well, let's just briefly, next week, I think, Sean, we're gonna do a little bit of soccer, maybe boys, girls combined. I'm not quite sure yet, but let's do some soccer next week, folks. If you want more football, Gem State game day every week. It drops, I think, Tuesday at 7:30, 7 Pacific time, so 8 p.m. Okay, all right.
No, I think it was
it 7 our time?
Now I can't remember.
Well, it
all those
matter.
Northern Idaho people.
Yeah, the Coeur d'Alene has to have Pacific time on there.
The best thing is all this stuff is, even if you don't watch it live, you can go to the YouTube, the Facebook, the Twitter, rewatch it, make sure you like it. Helps us get out there, get it to more people. More people do, if there's people you like and we recognize them, then it gets out to more of the fan base across Idaho and other places. So, I mean, that's the best thing about Idaho sports is, this is free and live right now, but you can go back and watch it anytime. And that's, I try to tune into a lot of our shows live if I can, but if I can't, just pop that podcast on your car. And that's the best thing of Gem State game day, I think, is it's Friday and maybe you listen to it Tuesday, but you can turn it on Friday on your way to work and they're like, right. Oh yeah, Rigby, Coeur d'Alene are playing Friday. I forgot about that. And yeah, really, really good stuff here on IdahoSports.com.
Yeah, and you can get it wherever you get your podcasts, also on YouTube, Facebook. Easy to find football if you're wanting football. Gem State game day is the place you want to go. We'll throw out football throughout the fall season, but we're also, since there is a football podcast every week, we're going to try to hit the other Olympic sports, right? Volleyball, boys and girls soccer, swimming, golf for 4 through 6 or whatever. And I know I'm missing cross country. I know I'm missing a few other sports, but we'll try to hit those besides football. But if there's a massive story, we're going to hit it here on the East Idaho Prepcast on IdahoSports.com. Sean, we've gone 40 minutes. That's 9 minutes over 30. So let's get out of here. But I'll be at Rigby, Coeur d'Alene. Speaking of football, I'll be at Rigby this Friday for Rigby Coeur d'Alene. Going to be a blast. Going to be broadcasting live and free on IdahoSports.com. Make sure to tune in for that awesome game. This is the 4th year in a row where these two teams are playing each other. It's a great game to start the season. And next season, Sean, you got a couple games?
I don't have a game. I just
next week.
Who are you picking?
Oh, I do. I'm broadcasting. I'm not allowed to pick.
Oh, well,
but you can pick.
But you're okay. I mean, man, I don't know, man. Rigby brings back the quarterback.
Yep,
that's Flowers and a guy we've covered when Joel started, Amani Morrell.
He was.
We remember him as a
sophomore at Skyline.
But they played Pocatello, I think, and maybe we did that game, and you just knew that kid was going to be unreal. He had a great season last year. I don't know. Coeur d'Alene brings back Simmons as their quarterback.
Yep.
They're always good, but I don't know. There's going to be some defensive questions for Coeur d'Alene. I like Rigby right now, but again, like Rigby lost that game last year and ended up winning the championship. So does it matter? Maybe, but I like Rigby right now.
Yeah, I know. I would agree with you. I like Rigby right now. I'm not going to pick who's going to win, but I like Rigby because they're bringing back so many offensive weapons. But Coeur d'Alene's bringing back 3 offensive linemen, and we talked about it on this show, Sean. Offensive line wins championships. If you are winning in the trenches, you're winning the ground game, which then opens up the passing game. And with Coeur d'Alene's quarterback coming back, it's going to be interesting. This year, though, the game is in Rigby. Last year, the game was in Coeur d'Alene. Coeur d'Alene won by a couple of touchdowns. This year, I think Rigby wants to win this game. And so, I mean, obviously both do, but like Rigby wants to win this game. 11-game win streak is on the line. I guess 12-game if they win is on the line. So the win streak is on the line. So I think there's a lot that you like with Rigby going into this game if you're a Rigby fan. If you're Coeur d'Alene, a few question marks, but their defense is going to be – I think their defense is going to be just fine. Their offensive line is going to be really good. So I'm really excited for the matchup. Can't wait to broadcast. I get to broadcast it with the Rigby students. Gonna pull in someone to be the color guy, and it should be a really good time, man.
Yeah, it's fun to do games there. They have a very high environment for Rigby. Like I think it'll definitely benefit Rigby.
Stadium rocks, great stadium.
It's going to be they got the legends on the poster thing, big, like as big as the stadium of the old players. It's a pretty fun atmosphere, but I think it's a good game, and I love that they scheduled this game, both these teams. What a just tantalizing entree to the season, right? with that. So I'm really excited about that one. I don't have a game for a while, as I'm, getting back to work, but I'll eventually pop up at a game somewhere. You never know.
Yeah, and we have a game together like mid-September or something, man. End of September, something like that.
Yeah,
so.
I've got some other obligations I'm working on too, as I'm always doing more than I should, but I'm pretty interested to see, and this will be a little homerish, but I'm pretty interested to see how Century does against Nampa this Friday at home. Nampa, I think Nampa's no slouch. Actually, I think we talked to them a little bit about them on Gem State Game Day. Is they're kind of a team no one's really talking about just because you have the behemoth that's Bishop Kelly lurking always there. But Nampa might be one of the better teams Century plays. So if they come out, and I got good word, and this is why I bring this up, Joel, is your favorite players, are now starters.
Yes, thank you. It's about time, Sean.
Maybe. We'll just
okay.
Say,
all right. Well,
I mean, I don't.
Two people listen to the show regularly, so they don't know who you're talking about.
But
so it's fine.
So two pretty dynamic players in the backfield,
cool.
And the quarterback should be the starters of a young team. So I'm just in the
it's a good litmus test.
Yeah, they haven't won a game in a couple years. So it'll be fun to see what happens there. It's a good story, right? With this team, when Detroit Lions didn't win a game forever, when do you win a game again? It's it'll be a fun story to follow, I think, for here in East Idaho.
Yeah. Again, if you have a good story that you want us to talk about and it's big, send us at Iwan Educador, Sean at SKane182. Hit us up on X/Twitter, and we would love to talk about that story. One more time, this show is brought to you by Ideal Estate, sponsored tax advantage savings plan that helps families pay for the cost of college. With the rising cost of college, developing a savings plan is the first and most important step in helping families finance a college education. An Ideal 529 account can be used towards higher education, a trade school, apprenticeship, or even student loan repayments. For more information, go to idsavings.org. For Sean Kane, I'm Joel Richardson saying be excellent to each other. Have a great week. Enjoy the games this Friday, and we'll see you next week for another edition of the East Idaho Prepcast on IdahoSports.com.